What really happened between Taehyung and Jungkook in the middle of the night in the HYBE parking lot? Why did the surveillance video footage leak? Then what exactly made the tape make the army so scared? Comment, like and subscribe now as this news will rock the entire fan base. Are you ready for the most surprising facts you never imagined before? Who would have thought that behind its elegance, the bright and professional image of the BTS members hides an almost absurd event, something that was recorded by HYBE's surveillance cameras and mysteriously leaked to the public? No one is ready for that. No one expected that the two BTS members, who are considered close friends, were actually the center of one of the most shocking internal incidents in the history of the K-pop industry. That night, the atmosphere at HYBE headquarters in Yangon was very quiet. The employees have gone home. The building is quiet. Only his steps, the voice of the security guard, was faintly heard in the hallway. But who would have thought that the place should be free of drama? An incident that left everyone speechless. All this was perfectly recorded by surveillance cameras in the underground parking lot. And now the video has leaked. What really happened to the tape? Who spread it? And why are the two big names Taehyung and Jungkook the main characters in this incident? No one expected that on this night, when most of the members were sleeping peacefully or watching BTS's latest live broadcast, an incident in the HYBE parking lot would trigger a worldwide uproar. The surveillance cameras, which had previously been silent and had never caused concern, were turned on that very night. Become a silent witness to the most controversial incident in BTS history. And oddly enough, the tape was not covered up by HYBE, but simply leaked to the public as if someone from consciously wanted to reveal this truth inside. The 11-minute 38-second recording first went viral on underground forums where the K-pop industry was discussed. Within hours, the video was downloaded by thousands of users and shared on Telegram, Weibo, and even Reddit and X, formerly Twitter. Immediately there was a rain of comments. Most people don't believe what they see. Some people thought the video was manipulated, the result of deep fake editing. But the more digital forensics experts observe it, the more difficult it is to deny the authenticity of the file, sounds, movements, eyes, and even reflections. Cars. It's all real. No doubt it's real. In the recording, Jungkook arrives first. He drove his sports car and immediately came out with a restless expression on his face. He constantly looks around as if he is waiting for someone or avoiding someone. He was wearing a black hoodie and hat, but his face was clearly visible as he looked at the parking camera. And it makes everything even more mysterious. Why did Jungkook look directly at the CCTV? Does he know that his position is being recorded, or does he just want to be seen? A few minutes later another car drove into the parking lot. This is a car that is already familiar to its fans, Taehyung's black SUV. He stopped beside Jungkook's vehicle. Then both come out, and here the tension in the video changes dramatically. Taehyung opened with a quick movement and looked angry. He stared at each other in silence for a few seconds before Jungkook approached. The video becomes silent because the camera does not record sound. But the facial expressions of both confirm that this was no ordinary meeting. This is not the best friends greet each other after practice. This was no ordinary conversation between two members of the group. He is a moment full of emotional outbursts, secrets, and something that he does not know wants to discuss in front of others. Taehyung pointed at his hunched chest while saying something with an angry expression. The hunchback seemed to answer in a shrill voice, his body slightly bent forward. Taehyung clenched his hands. There was a moment when Jungkook covered his own windshield, a reaction to which the public's frustration had never been seen before. And a few seconds later something happens that absolutely anyone who has watched this video will hold their breath. Taehyung pushes Jungkook. Yes, not out loud, but very clearly visible as a physical form of frustration. Jungkook took a step back and giggled instead. Not happy laughter, but desperate laughter, perhaps as a defense mechanism. Taehyung's eyes changed. His face brightened for a moment. He's on the ground. Then he opened the trunk without warning his car and took something. What did Taehyung take out of the trunk? Here the crazy speculation begins. Some fans thought it was just an ordinary bag, but visual forensic observers said it resembled a document storage box or even an analog recording device. Jungkook refuses to accept it. He shook Taehyung's hand and threw the object in a lightning-fast motion at the ground until it broke. What exactly is in this box? Why is the stoop reaction so extreme? And why did Taehyung seem so guilty afterwards? As if he hadn't expected the hunchback to react like that. To date, there has been no official statement from HYBE. Even after the ARMY's comments on Weverse, after flooding Twitter and Instagram with requests for clarification, the agency issued only one line of a statement that sounded very diplomatic. We are investigating an internal security breach that led to the sharing of images of a private nature. But people already know that this is not just an internal security issue. It's about personal relationships. It was successful about a violent open confrontation between the two most famous members. Not on stage, not on a reality show, but in the place that should be safest for them, their own office parking lot. The question now, is this the only incident of this kind or just the tip of the iceberg? A conflict that has long been smoldering beneath the surface? Rumors were circulating. Some said the dispute stemmed from a long-running conflict over their respective solo projects, and one of them felt betrayed because the project's secrets were first leaked to the media. There is also a mention of the involvement of a third party, maybe a manager, maybe someone from the fashion industry, where the two worked together under an advertising contract. Some even speculated that this dispute had something to do with HYBE's decision to form a new subunit, and Jungkook felt unfairly excluded. But the most surprising is the theory that this video was actually made by leaked by one of their own people. This theory is not unfounded. There are several images on the video that show moments where the cameras appear to be manually aligned instead of the usual static surveillance footage. This most likely means that the video came not only from a fixed camera, but was also taken with a mobile phone or other device that records from different angles. Does this mean that they are being pursued by a third party? Or is it part of a larger strategy? And the scariest thing, what if this video was deliberately used to leak something that the agency deliberately covered up? Is this a form of internal resistance? Is this some kind of media suicide in the sense that one of them wants to end the false narrative that HYBE has been building? This question is not immediately answered. But one thing is certain, after this incident Jungkook and Taehyung's relationship will never be the same again. Even if they smile together again and joke in front of the camera, the public already sees a different side, which cannot simply be forgotten. Human, but also tragic. And the public, as always, was divided. The majority of the military tried to justify this incident as an ordinary fraternal showdown. But not a few also feel that this is a sign of something much deeper, more complex and more painful than we know so far. Whatever the content of their conversation that night, one thing is certain. The two young men who grew up together under the spotlight of this world have finally reached a breaking point where pressures, differing views, and perhaps old wounds mix into an emotional outburst they can't control, and the camera captures everything. Is this really just a dispute between two people? Guys? Or is there something much darker behind it that is hidden from the public? When the video began to spread massively, the K-pop world seemed to lose balance. Not only did the military react as tensions between Taehyung and Jungkook were high, but Korean media, international media, and industry analysts began to gather evidence that had previously been ignored. This is not the first time that tensions have arisen between Taehyung and Jungkook.